Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You got it? So yours again? Baby's now.
But we might see that. You used to have a pint with him then, did you? How long time no see? I thought you were... Andrew, Jean and Ken. Got a good turnout. Love the car? Yeah.
That's not milk box, that's a bit of sirloin steak, that is.
Afternoon, Graham. Afternoon, love.
Are you alright, dear?
Yes, I am. Are you?
Right, no times I had friends a few, but what can I do?
No change there then.
Everything needs to take him along wherever you go, don't we?
We've not only got this claim to fame on us. McLaren set 4 local lads on changing wheels and changing...
Is it? Brilliant.
Okay, all this way, please. Could I just narrow the group down now? Just
Are you supposed to be getting out? You're being filmed.
Take them down to somewhere.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming. Such a nice turnout, and excellent to see all these wonderful cars around. The Jaguars all along the street here, thanks to the Jaguar Enthusiast Club. A couple of Ferraris down there, and then of course we've got the real stars of the show, the Riley and the racing Jag that Mike actually drove to victory. The project's been put together because it was felt that we ought to have some kind of commemoration in the town, Mike's hometown. This building was chosen because it would be a premise that he would have known as a child. It's a nice stone-built building, and it's nicely on the corner of this junction with High Street and down near the library. We've had a lot of help to bring about this project, a lot of financial assistance, but the first speaker I want to introduce to you, I think it was his idea, and he produced a DVD called a Mexborough Time Machine. Some of you may have seen it. There's a little stall down there selling various items, and if you haven't seen it, you might wish to purchase it. And Giles Brearley, he produced that DVD and has put a large amount of the proceeds from that DVD to fund what we're going to see just shortly, the plaque behind us. So I'd like to introduce you to the first speaker, Giles Brearley.
Yep. Yeah. Good afternoon, folks. Keep it very brief. I just felt this is a project we had to deliver. Down in Farnham, in Surrey, there is commemoratives to Mike and his achievements. But at the end of the day, he was a Mexborough son. He come from this town, he lived up Alexander Road, he was born here, and there wasn't a skerrit of evidence of that in the town, so it had to be. So I took it on board in spring that we're going to do something, and Ken and myself have put all this together, and I'd like to thank everybody for coming down, but at least now when you walk down the high street, you'll be able to see something up there and go, yep, that's Mike Hawthorn, he was the first world champion. What an achievement.
Thank you. The next speaker I'd like to introduce is a gentleman who's given a tremendous amount of assistance, and the wonderful vehicle there, the Jaguar, is owned by Nigel Webb, and Nigel's got a fantastic website up and running all about Mike, and this is going to add to that. But welcome very much to Nigel Webb.
Ladies and gentlemen, I greatly admire the Mexborough people here for doing what they have towards Mike. I'm a great enthusiast, and as he said, I'm lucky enough to own the D-Type. Mike started Cooper Bristols and moved on with Ferrari, of course, and then with Jaguar in sports cars. And when Jaguar sadly gave up racing in '56, he went to Ferrari for the Formula One, which, as we know, he was our first world champion, and well, it was a wonderful achievement to do that, as well as, of course, again raced with the Ferrari team in the Le Mans '57, '58. Unfortunately, his car kept breaking, but it wasn't a Jaguar. So, but seriously, you know, it's a lovely thing for you people to do this. It's been great to support these guys, and you know, to bring the car up was an absolute pleasure, and I'd like to thank you all.
There's another person I would like to mention who's here. That's Andrew Jeffrey, and of course Jaguar are still producing vehicles now, and Hatfields in Sheffield are the dealer for this area, and thanks very much to yourselves for all your assistance, and the Jaguar PR people as well. So
thank you.
But our next speaker is Tim, and we need to bear in mind the Riley car that's here as well, and that was also a vehicle that was owned, loved and driven by Mike. So Tim?
Good afternoon. Yep, I know a thing or two about the car. I've owned it for 47 years, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about it. It ran at Le Mans in 1934, driven by two Frenchmen, and the more experienced of the two crashed it early in the race, damaging its tail. It wasted 2 laps in the pits, and when they had to count up at the end of the first hour, it was running 44th and last. It ended up 3rd in class, beaten only by 2 other Riley 9s. And Riley's came 1, 2, 3, 4 in the 1100 class, and 1st and 2nd in the 1500 class. They even came 2nd and 3rd overall, beaten only by a rather sick Alfa Romeo. Clearly the race had a lot of problems for other cars. Mike's father bought the car from HW Motors in Walton-on-Thames, the manufacturers of the famous HWM single-seaters and Jaguar engine sports cars. And it moved to Farnham in Surrey to the TT garage, and they prepared it for Mike, who took it to the Brighton Speed Trials and to Gosport in 1950. In 1951 he took it racing at Goodwood and Gamston near Nottingham and other circuits, and he was never off the podium with the car. He was either always 1st, 2nd or 3rd. And his last race in a rally was at Goodwood in 1952, where he won the first race of the day, which made him the first driver to negotiate Goodwood's new chicane and be the winner. And I think that was also the first day at Goodwood when crash hats were compulsory. So we're talking about a good time ago, 1952. I bought the car from Mike's mother after Mike died. He died on the 22nd of January 1959, and I bought the car from his mother about April time in '59. And I've played about with it ever since, and thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, and just before I introduce our final speaker, I must say a few more thank yous. I would like to thank Mexborough and District Heritage who've assisted with the project. I'd like to thank Doncaster Metropolitan Borough Council for the assistance that we had there, and particularly this morning from the police, who, you've seen, we've had quite a job marshalling things along. But finally, thank you all very much to the drivers and owners who've turned up this morning.
And also to the people who have donated to the project.
Absolutely.
Don't want to forget them.
Absolutely. Now, our final speaker is a lady who's made a special journey to Mexborough. I think it's the first time in Mexborough, is that correct? And a lady who had a very, very special relationship with Mike Hawthorn, and so we are very pleased and honoured to welcome Jean Ireland. You are.
I just wanted to say a few words, but I'm so pleased that Mexborough has honoured the memory of Mike. Being born in Yorkshire made him a cut above the others, as shown in his determination to be the best in his field. Although he left Yorkshire as a small boy, he still remained a Yorkshireman at heart. As before he asked my father for my hand, he reminded him that he was a true-born Yorkshireman, so my father gave us permission to marry. And now...
Okay, well, we'll just get the... But thanks very much for that.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Right.
So we're going to hope this works, because
Yeah.
we have had problems in the past.
Before, so be on
Just nice and slow. Nice and slow.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go. Is it pulling? Is it pulling?
It's coming. And thanks very much to David Blaney, wherever he is. He was the engineer who's organised this.
If you want any plumbing done, ask David.
You can see what a cracking job he makes of it.
But do have a walk round the Jaguars as well and have a look at all the cars. It's fabulous.
It's not that tall.
So anybody you'll let me have copies?
Yeah, we'll willingly let you have copies.
We'll dedicate a page to it.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
This way, big smile.
Enjoy it anyway. Well.
Crazy about jiggling this thing around too much, that fellow saying with his toes up in front of the car. And the D-charge 6 inches away. I'm sure by your standards it's minuscule.
5 inch piston,
Somebody in the home counties. Next time you're next to your wife, send work over.
Better than I thought. Obviously, know what we were really going to see or get into.
That's so nice to see all those people.
Imagine we get that sort of spectacle.
It's really nice.
You said you were miserable about it.
Oh, she was unmiserable. I hope this is not. That's a lovely. What's that?
That's a Riley.
Lovely, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Right, it's a Riley Kestrel.
Oh, that's when he got very badly burned.
That's Syracuse, yeah?
Yeah, and he had to have skin taken off part of his body to put onto another bit of. Yeah.
I've got some horrible pictures of him actually.
Have you?
Badly burnt, yeah. Coming off the out of the car and then on a stretcher.
Oh. Yeah, he was quite scarred. Yes. They're very.
Yeah.
See? They're very
As you
alike,
said.
aren't they?
Square.
That's the pipe I've got.
Is it?
That's the one he broke. I showed it to you.
Yeah, I remember. Oh.
See, Neil McNabb was a great John
Yeah, but they.
Yes, was his mechanic.
Yeah.
He rang Innes up and wanted to know where various things were of his father's. Of course, Whit had already given them to Innes. So Innes just
Thanked it.
because he didn't want any problems. But Britt never ever saw his son. He lived in Canada or somewhere. He never ever saw his son, and he suddenly sort of material.
Next week I come and see in situ in the.
You've been pleased with the arrangements?
It's lovely. And I didn't know what his mother's maiden name was. Now I know. It's lovely.
Yeah. Well, hope you enjoy your little tour of Mexborough now. And,
Gene, I'm going to take you now and just get off time a bit.
Yes, I know.
Just a cheerio tonight.
All right.
He's always in demand. He's like a good.
The atmosphere is really, really good.
Well, they say it was like only flying Spitfires, but they say it was like flying Spitfires.
Yeah.
And actually, I've got something for you. Look, Carl, a company count.